Welcome to the Boise School District's 2022 FullDay Kindergarten webinar. I'm Debbie Donovan, the Area Director for the Boise Quad. I'm excited to share some information about FullDay Kindergarten. It will be eligible for all of our students in the Boise School District this year, tuition free. We are thrilled to expand it district-wide and provide it at no cost. If you are a parent who has not participated in FullDay Kindergarten or has concerns about the program, we hope that this information provided to you during this brief video will help you better understand the benefits of FullDay Kindergarten and what it has to offer for you and your child. We will discuss what to expect during the day and how you can register your child for 2022-23 school year. We're going to do a short presentation and then we will meet our panelists and go through some of the questions that we received from the survey. Okay, so go ahead and flip to the next slide. So first of all, we are really excited to be able to finally offer accessible FullDay kindergarten for all of our children in the Boise School District. We have had FullDay kindergarten, however, it has only been in a limited option for students throughout the district based on space and tuition. So we're excited about potentially attracting additional kindergarten age students into our district rather than in first grade, because we know in the past a lot of students who come to us for kindergarten are looking for a full day option and they go to a private school and then come back in first grade. So we're excited to start them with us. And also increase the social and academic skills with the increased amount of time in the day. So our vision is that we are going to provide 100% pre-literacy and pre-numeracy skills for all students by the time they enter first grade. And a lot of those soft skills mastered for a successful first grade experience. And our expert panelist, Tammy Taylor, will talk about those skills when they're going into first grade. And the most important thing to us is it will be accessible for all students without a cost and equitable for all of our students. It will be full day for all students. Here is a brief overview of the schedule that happens. In a normal half-day school day, it was 165 minutes, which was a very quick amount of time by the time you transition in and out. It limited the amount of time that they could actually do a lot of the things that we wanted to provide for our students. So this gives you a brief overview. And again, our panelists will go through different options that they have used in their school. So it ends up to be 390 minutes for a full day program. The benefits for our parents, students, and staff: there's lunch and breakfast available. There's less of a financial burden on families if the school is free. There's more continuity in the child's day, so they're not going to kindergarten and then possibly getting a bus or a van to a daycare. They're staying in one place, and it's a consistent schedule with siblings that are in first through sixth grade. So they're on the same time frame and same schedule, and better supports the schedule of working parents. For students and teachers, it increases the instructional time, including time for intervention and extensions, more time for focus on activities, to reflect on activities, and to transition between those activities. Supports developmental science of brain, and supports decreasing the language gap, learning vocabulary in context during the day, and narrows the poverty gap in vocabulary to build that 30 million or to reduce that 30 million word gap. And now I'm excited to introduce our panel. We have Amy Adams, who is a current full-day kindergarten teacher at Mountain View Elementary, also has taught half-day kindergarten and first grade and second grade. So she has vast experience in our district. Then we have Tammy Taylor, who is a current first grade teacher, but also taught half-day kindergarten, full-day kindergarten, and now she's first grade at Lowell Elementary. And then we have Ted Todorica, who is a longtime principal in the school district at Jefferson Elementary, who currently has a pilot program going on with FullDay Kindergarten as the only option and tuition free. So that's, he'll have a great perspective. So first off, before we start the questions, and we got some great questions that we're going to go through, I'd like to have the panelists just briefly give an overview of the benefits of a FullDay kindergarten program. So we'll start with Amy Adams.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. And I just wanted to share that I know if you have concerns about all day, it is scary. And as a mom, I have that same heart, so I totally get it. And so I'm glad to be able to share with you what I see in all day. I did teach half day for 2 years, and now I've had all day for 2 years. So I have a great balance. And the benefits of all day kindergarten are that kids thrive. They are so comfortable in school and they become so independent. And they have this time, this element of time that it allows you to just really go back and circle in around concepts. They learn letters, they learn sounds, they're doing math, but they also get to do science and social studies, and they get to explore their world. And so the experience is just incredible. It's amazing.
Thank you, Amy. Tammy?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here as well. And I just want to reiterate exactly what Amy said. I too am a longtime teacher here in the Boise School District. I taught half-day kindergarten for many, many years, and then was lucky enough to be at one of the schools that started kind of experimenting with the FullDay program and was early on in that. And I am currently this year for the first time moving up to first grade. And I just, like I said, want to say that I think the benefit of time is such a gift. My own children attended the Boise School District and were both a part of the half-day program. And as both a teacher and a parent, was such a short amount of time for them to spend at school. And granted, they learned lots and did well in school, of course, but the opportunity to be at school all day in kindergarten and have twice the amount of time and exposure to teachers and staff and principals, and have lunch at school and get comfortable with the music teacher and the counselor and all of the many things that a full day program is going to offer, I think is just a real gift. And I'm super excited for all of the students that are going to be becoming new kindergartners next fall and attending school all day.
Thank you, Tammy. Ted?
Hi, and welcome to the Boise School District. This is a fantastic place to be. And once you've entered into this district, you'll understand how terrific we are. So I'd like to basically say this is our second year where we have had 2 full day free programs offered we are a Title I building. And what I have seen is I've seen kindergarten teachers go from cramming material down students' throats to actually having the time to teach, to take the time to remediate, to help kids where they are, also to extend student learning. I've seen teachers be able to, again, differentiate fully within the class and really give a much more meaningful and calm elementary experience, or kindergarten experience.
Thank you, Ted. Okay, so we had about 65 people take the survey, which was great. And most of the people that took the survey have not experienced full day, so they had some really great questions. They really hit into about 4 main themes. So we're going to pull questions from those 4 main themes. I know there are lots of school specific questions that we aren't able to address here, but I know the principals at your elementary school would love it if you reach out to them and have those specific questions answered, because it can be a daunting experience coming in new to the Boise School District as a kindergarten parent and student. So the big first question we'd like to address is how to enroll. And Ted, can you walk us through what a family does to enroll into kindergarten?
Yeah, there are multiple ways to actually register for kindergarten. One of the ways that I think is most convenient is to go online and go through that process. If you just take a picture of your birth certificate or the I-94 form. If you take a picture of your verification of residency form, which is any utility bill or rental agreement, and then a picture of immunizations. Once you take those pictures with your phone, then you're able to go to the online site and just drop in all of that information. And it makes your tour of the school much, much easier. So on March 3rd, all of the schools, all of the elementary schools will be open at 4 o'clock to have families come in and go through the process of registration. It's a lot easier for you if you have done the online registration, but you are welcome to come to the school and we can walk you through the process and we will enter you in absolutely no problem. So those are your choices with the registration. Some schools are allowing members of that community to call and make an appointment with our front office. They can come in and then we will do the screeners there with them. I'll actually, like at Jefferson, we do that because there are some people who for one reason or another do not want to attend the March 3rd event. I can walk you through the entire school with your child so they get a real sense of what that community is. But that is basically what happens at most schools.
Great. Tammy and Amy, can you guys add to what to expect in the registration process? Because I know a lot of parents, when I was a principal, parents got a little worried about what we were asking the kids and what that screening process was like. Amy, do you want to go first?
Sure. Kindergarten registration is the best day. We look forward to it all year. Our office, we're so excited right now getting ready. So I hope you know that kindergarten registration is about fun. We're so excited to meet our incoming kids. They change so much between now and the time we see them again in August. But when they come in, we're just going to get to know them, meet them, bring them in, and we ask them some letters, colors, numbers, just some basic things, just to get to know them and see where they are. The Boise School District does offer a summer school program. So if your child hasn't had exposure to writing his or her name or to doing some of those basic academic skills, we offer that. And so we just like to see where kids are. And then it helps us with putting classes together and all those things. But it's really about a day where we give you a cookie at our school and we hug your teacher and tell you how excited we are to have you become a new kindergartner. So kindergarten registration for us is one of our favorite days around here. Everyone in the school loves it. We have volunteers. It's just such a fun time. So March 3rd is definitely a great time, but we do offer you coming in later if that date doesn't work for you as well.
Great. Tammy, do you have anything to add to that with your experience at Lowell?
Well, I agree. It's such an exciting day, and there's nothing more exciting or more fun than seeing all the new little kindergartners come and get ready. And we just oftentimes it's a nice for them because they'll get to kind of see the school where they're going to be if they don't have an older sibling. They get to, at most schools, they open up the kindergarten classroom, and so that's not always at every school, depending on the layout of the school and policies there. But a lot of the schools do like to open up the classroom for just a little quick preview and an opportunity to meet the teacher. And there's usually, a few cookies or maybe books or pencils, a couple little goodies that we like to give the kiddos as well. And so, it's just a really fun and exciting day, and a really great opportunity for the kiddos as well to kind of, get excited about that big first day in the fall.
Great. Okay, the next question talked about the schedule. Some new kindergarten parents are worried about the balance between, in a full day program, the balance between academic of what you might picture a kindergarten class being like, academic sitting in desks or tables, versus playtime or unstructured time or center time. Amy, can you talk a little bit about that balance?
Yes, the balance in all day versus half day is incredible, because in a half day setting, I think Ted kind of mentioned it. I love the word calm that he used in an all day setting. In a half day setting, it's really reading and math, and you're trying to get those two things in, maybe sprinkle in a little bit of writing, because you really end up with about an hour and a half of education time versus this 390 minutes you're seeing in all day. So all day is so incredible because I do things in a little spurts, right? Because kids are little and they're 5. And so we do a lot of movement activities. We do a lot of songs, a lot of dancing, a lot of time where they do go work a little bit and then they come to the carpet and we do an activity or we do a song or we do a dance. We have exploratory time. with manipulatives, which are blocks and things to build with and things to count and sort and organize. So in an all-day setting, you have this time because you don't have to rush the kids through. That is the most beautiful part of their day. Is it's calm, it's warm, and it's actually enjoyable. My kids never ask, they never say, when do we leave? They say, oh, the day's over already. The days fly by because they're moving from activity to activity. So kids can't sit in their tables for more than a few minutes. And so that's what they do. They sit for a few minutes and then they have exploratory things that they do and activities that fill the rest of that day. It's just, like I said, it's amazing. I did think of one thing I wanted to add too, just about the registration. We also give you a kindergarten readiness pack. And so it's really nice. A lot of schools do that. So that way you can kind of gauge where your child is and to see how ready they are and work on some things over the summer if you think maybe they aren't ready. So just wanted to add that in too.
Great. Okay, I'm going to go to the next question. Several parents had a concern about a full day program being too much for 5-year-olds. What are your thoughts about that? And I'd like to kind of hear from all three of you because you all are seeing different, have different experiences with families and kids. So let's start with Tammy for this one.
I understand that question and concern a lot, especially like I said, I was a mom and then, and I think as an educator, I'm going to go back to exactly what Amy had said, because as a half-time kindergarten teacher, there was a lot of stress and pressure to make sure that you were really getting in all the academics and the things, because just the kindergarten curriculum and education has changed over the years, and it's very different. When I started teaching kindergarten in 1995 and the way kindergarten looks in the year 2022, it's really kind of two different worlds, but we still treat the kids developmentally the same, and their needs are still the same. It's just that gift of time. And I think when they come here, they're just able to have a little bit slower schedule, or able to meet their stamina. And I think that's part of it too, is that I know that parents, we don't just have stamina overnight. We really work to build that stamina. And I think the kindergarten teachers in our school district are so thoughtful and prepared and well educated in the needs of children at that age, and work on structuring their program the way it is in September looks a lot different than the way it does in January, and then it also in May. And so we slowly build stamina and skills and adjust and modify our day to meet the needs of those kids, and as teachers as well. And so we develop our stamina, daily as well with those little munchkins. So I think it's, yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Amy, have you had experience with people worried about 5-year-olds? Full day.
Yes. And again, like Tammy said, I completely understand that question. And I likely would have felt the same when my girls were young. But I have a very young class this year. I was sharing with some people the other day. I have mostly 5-year-olds still right now. And I have I had 4 that were still 4 when they started kindergarten because of that August birthday, and they turned 5 during school. So I have a super young class, and I myself was worried, but it's amazing. Kids love school and they love learning. They're curious. And so like Tammy said, we structure our kindergarten program so that kids love school and that they love coming. It's not a get to school and work for 7.5-hour day. It's not like what you might think of in a job. It's more of get to school and have your needs met by adults that are also teaching you. And so we really, really work hard to have a wonderful day. And all of my kids I have a very young group, like I said, and they're thriving. I haven't seen any kids have problems except for at the beginning of the year, like Tammy said. And so what we do is we ease them into it. We don't go full out. We spend the first couple weeks of school doing a lot of the playing and exploring our room and our surroundings. And we just work on how we're going to be in school and how we are in school. And so those first weeks are very, very light. And then we gradually, like Tammy said, build their stamina for all day. And so the afternoons are spent really exploring your room, really exploring things, because we know they're tired. And honestly, teachers are tired at the beginning too. And then by September, all of my kids were raring to go. And they said, we're going home already. So kids can do it. It just takes time. And so the teachers in the Boise School District are so conscious of that. we are very aware of it, and we really, really want to make our programs excellent for kids and excellent for 5-year-old kids.
Thank you. Ted, what have you had with 5-year-olds? Any concerns?
No, I agree with everything that's been said. I think initially it's more a parent concern than it actually is a child concern. And I think it's a legitimate concern. A lot of parents really struggle with bringing their child to a school for 6-7 hours and wondering what's going to happen. And will their child have the stamina? And will there be flexibility if they need to go to the restroom, if they need to get a drink of water? Will their child be supported? And will those teachers be advocates for those children looking to their needs? And what I've seen is in the FullDay Kindergarten, just as our two teachers have said, they come in very, very young, but our kindergarten teachers are pros at serving them and serving their needs to make sure they truly are comfortable. So even parents that in March may have had some pretty severe concerns about coming to FullDay, by the time we've finished our 3rd week of school in September, they're sold.
Great. Amy, can I hit back on, there were questions about the schedule. Can you just go through, I know I'm putting you on the spot because I didn't tell you ahead of time, but a day in a life of a kindergartner in your classroom, kind of just go through that. Because
so when we come in the morning, we always do a morning meeting, and that lasts about 20 minutes. And that's where we talk, we share, every child gets to share. They have a share schedule, so they get to share something about their life, something about that they'd like to share with us one day a week. And so we do that, we do activity time, and then we start our day. So we do a little reading, and then we go into some small group reading, and then they go to recess. So we break up their day so they're never in my room doing something for more than about 45 minutes. Then they come in and we have a little snack and we do a calendar, and then we always do math, and then we go to lunch. And so that fills out our morning really nicely. And then the afternoon is spent in learning stations where we do writing, math, word work, which is working with words. We also have technology during that time. And then the end of the day, we do science, social studies, art. We do an extension of whatever we're learning about, whatever the theme is that week. So the day is just, it just flows. It's just so great. Our schedule is, and I should say too, our principals are really great about making sure the kindergarten schedule is great for kids. Yeah. They don't keep kindergarten kids in a room for 2-hour blocks or things like that, because we know that kids need breaks, kids need time, kids use the restroom. And I would say that course of the day, we work on discussions, we work on speaking, we just work on so many things with that schedule. And so that's what our typical day looks like. And of course, we have some days that are different and special things that happen, but that's the majority of their day. They love the routine, they know it so well. And yeah, like I said, I just keep saying it's such a rich experience for them.
Right. And then Tammy, can you go through the specials that a class would have? So those special classes that they get to go to that are more in the FullDay program.
Right, which is, again, the gift of time, right? Because then when you are in the FullDay program, the kiddos get to have two 30-minute PE special classes a week, as well as 2 30-minute music classes, and then a 30-minute trip to the library, where oftentimes too, kind of mid-year, I know that's going to be probably different at every school, but I know at our school by mid-year, we kind of feel like the kindergartners are responsible enough to start checking out books and bringing them home. And that's always a thrill, right? And so all of those things that were really kind of challenging in the half-day program, they only had 20 minutes and not necessarily 2 PEs and 2 music classes. And so again, they get to have a lot more exposure to those kind of extra special classes throughout the week. So a really fun opportunity for them as well.
Perfect, thanks. Okay, so the next question, Ted, I'd like you to take. If a family does not want the FullDay program, are we offering a half-day program?
That's a great question. And since we were the first school to pilot only FullDay programs, I got that question a lot. And mainly because the parents were pretty upset because they wanted a half-day program. And there is not an option in the Boise School District next year to have a half-day program. However, that being said, again, this is a very caring and student-centered school district. And just about every principal and every kindergarten teacher will work with families that have specific concerns. If we need to start the day, we need to have a soft start, and maybe the child needs to come in a little bit later. If there's some anxiety issues, we will work with you and make sure that by the end of 3 or 4 weeks, your child is fully comfortable participating in the program as outlined. But there is flexibility. You just need to communicate with your teacher and your principal.
Perfect. Thanks, Ted. Okay, so now I'm going to switch into Tammy, because we'd like to then take what are the benefits going into first grade, because Tammy's has the luxury of knowing what it's like in half-day kindergarten, and then what it's going to be coming in, or full-day kindergarten going into first grade, and the difference between how that is for first graders.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, so at Lowell last year, and in years past, we have had a combination of a half-day program and a full-day program. And so I have kiddos in my classroom this year that were in our half-day program, and kiddos that were with me full-time last year as well. And so it's, and they're all doing very well. Exactly what Ted said. I mean, we really work in this district to meet the needs of the kids. And whether children were in a half day or a full day program, those little kindergarten teachers worked really hard to make sure that all of the needs, and especially academic needs, were met, and that kiddos were prepared and ready for first grade. But as a first grade teacher this year, for the first time, and having a couple of those kiddos come with me, some of my past students as well as some new ones, I have noticed that my little kiddos that were here all day last year, their stamina, they have that stamina. They're used to the full day. They're used to the routine. They're used to eating lunch at school. They just kind of had a little bit better feel of exactly how our day was going to look. And they just kind of seamlessly moved into the kind of the rigor and the experience of first grade. So I just think it's been such a great and natural transition for them. The half-day kids are doing great, but I do think that the opportunity for them to have had twice the exposure and had all of that opportunity that was given to them for the full day kids, it was helpful at the beginning of the year in first grade. And again, just super excited that all the kids are going to have that same opportunity next fall.
Thank you. Okay, so that wraps up our questions. Again, there were some school specific and questions about open enroll and those sorts of things. Those are best answered at the school level. Really, everything that would happen in 1st through 6th grade at a school will apply to kindergarten. So I know there were lots of people that are worried that they wouldn't get in, because in the past it was difficult. There wasn't access for all. So assured that all students that enroll will get into full day kindergarten, because we will educate all students. So I'd like the panel to do just a really quick, what's a quick takeaway to help reassure our new incoming kindergarten parents. We'll start with Amy.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me be here and talk to you today. I would say the biggest takeaway for me is that all-day kindergarten allows relationships to be built and connections with your child and the people that will be educating them for the next 6 or 7 years. And I would say that in the Boise School District, we want kids to love learning, and kindergarten is the entry point to love learning. And once your child learns to love learning, or decides they love learning, it can never be taken away from them. And that is the goal of kindergarten. That is the entry point in. It's about loving school and loving learning, and to give them a stress-free environment where they're able to learn and grow and become part of that school at such a young age is literally changing the course of their life. And it gives me goosebumps. I say it all the time. It's amazing. And I just hope you'll give it a chance, because it's just amazing. It's unreal. So thank you for letting me be here today.
Thank you, Amy. We so appreciate your expertise and enthusiasm. Tammy.
Yes, thank you. I'm so happy to be here as well. And I think, there's this famous book. I wish the author, All You Need to Know You Learn in Kindergarten. And I just, I think that's so true. We learn everything in kindergarten, and the kids love every minute of it. And I don't think all my years that I taught kindergarten, whether I was half-time or full-time, those little munchkins, they sure loved school and loved learning and loved being here. And so I just think it's like, again, what we've said over and over again, that gift of time, though, is such a gift for them, because they truly do love learning. And we work to make sure that they love it here, and do what we need to make, get them going and starting and realizing that the beginning of the year is going to look a little different than the end of the year, and making sure that we're meeting all their needs. But in all my years, there wasn't one little guy that didn't want to be here every day and spend the whole day. And so I think, I'm just really excited for this opportunity, and I'm glad that we're hopefully able to answer all of your questions and ease a few of those concerns, as having all of us here, knowing that we take good care of them, even, half day or all day, excuse me.
Thank you, Tammy. Ted.
I second everything they just said. And again, I want to reiterate the word calm, because that is one thing that kindergarten teachers have not had a lot of time to focus on. Mindfulness exercises, to focus on tools that allow students to pull into themselves, breathing tools, learn how to work with other children, and to actually take the time and strategically teach those interactions. I truly believe the full day affords much more time and calm for the teachers to educate in that way. And again, I would ask you to reach out to your elementary principals, because I like nothing better than to meet with a mom and a dad and a kid, and to show them the gym, show them the classrooms, show them where the bathrooms are. That's the biggest question they have. Anything that might cause them anxiety, we just walk the school and we tell them, you're welcome to come back. You can come back in the summer. But anything that lowers their anxiety, your school principal would be more than happy to facilitate that for you.
Thank you so much, Ted. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Again, if you have any school-specific questions or questions about any of the kindergarten process, enrolling, or what it's going to be like, reach out to your neighborhood school. And remember, the registration day is March 3rd. It is a very exciting day in our school district. We all have it on our calendars because like Amy said, it's the most fun time welcoming our new class of students. So we thank you so much for all your questions, and hope we were able to answer a few of them. I know we have a nice link on the website of different things, as well as I think the video from Amy Adams explaining a lot of the things about full day kindergarten. So again, thank you for your time, and we'll see you all on March 3rd.